Hi everyone, it's zi8gzag here, welcome back to another GeoGuessr video. And today we're going to take a little trip through memory lane. So of course, before I started making YouTube videos, I was playing GeoGuessr. And it so happens that I actually saved quite a lot of pictures, notes, and high scores from the early days of my GeoGuessing career. So in today's video, we're just going to go through some of the funnier ones and see how much I progressed over the years. And I hope that this little video will be kind of inspiring for a lot of you guys. Because yeah, there was a time when I was absolutely garbage at the game. And even the highest peaks of those days would pale in comparison to my average game today. So anyway, this first one here comes from just before I started the channel, and it was a time when after the third round, I was coming second in the league, and I freaked out. I was like, oh my gosh, I plonked as close as RC. I was so excited about this round. It's funny because 2.5 years later, me and RC playing in all the same tournaments and everything, he's still at the top of his game, and I'm definitely a changed player from 2020. Here's another one where I was celebrating a 9 streak. I mean, hey guys, everyone's got to start somewhere. And to be honest, this 9 streak probably brought me more joy than getting a 150 streak later on in my career. Here's my first 12 streak. Man, this is so cute. And check out the old profile picture and the old UI and the old map. Man, everything about GeoGuessr has changed, even though it's such a simple game. It's actually kind of wild. Here was a 25,000.5 streak game I got on no moving, panning, or zooming diverse world. Quite literally, this would probably be my average score now, which is kind of wild. Here's a screenshot from my first ever 24,000 point game. And the especially hilarious thing about this one is that this New Zealand round was actually a repeat. Meaning I'd had it before, right? And when I was playing at that time, I thought repeats were cheating. So I thought I actually got counterfeited on this 24K and that it wasn't a real 24K, it wouldn't count. Of course, these days remembering repeats is something that everyone does and is considered perfectly normal, but back then I thought it was so cheaty. And so what I actually did was went ahead and played the next game and I said, whatever the next round is, I'll count that. And it turned out that I got Taiwan, so I actually got my 24K. So that was kind of a nice ending to the story, I think. We'll get to my docs and PBs soon, guys. But here's where the numbers kind of got a bit big boy. This was a 27 country streak. And I remember on this round, we had a car that said HR on it. And I thought it was the Hungarian domain, but of course that's actually the Croatian domain name. Here's like one of my first ever 5,000 point rounds on no moving in Broome, Australia. And I remember Mum was in the room and like we kind of worked it out together, which is actually just, it's so funny, man. And finally, here's a classic screenshot from where I got 2 Svalbard rounds in one diverse world game. I was actually playing 5 seconds per round at the time, but it's still kind of wild that this happened. This would still be considered an incredibly strange game in 2023. Okay guys, here is my record sheet from all the way back in the day, guys. This is hella nostalgic. Check this out. Okay, so zi8gzag GeoGuessr records, diverse world and world maps. Okay. So at the point of this, I'm actually not sure when this is from, probably around the start of 2021 or a bit after, probably a bit after the start of 2021. And my best ever no moving game was 24,155, which is, it's good, but, it's not great by any stretch of the imagination. And then 23,000s were all the rest. Now, country streak, 31 was my best with 20 seconds per round, actually kind of good. Not recorded though. Then we had a 27 partially recorded, 25 was my best recorded at the time. So this is a bit after the channel started, a few months, probably like a month or two after the channel started. Then we have no moving, panning, or zooming, where my best game was actually higher than my no moving record. Well, I've got the link here, so let's check it out. Okay, so here is the seed. Round 1 was a Cambodia, okay. Round 2 was Eswatini. Round number 3 here was Guatemala. Wow, this is a really easy seed. Round 4 was apparently a good Spanish guess. And then round 5 was Jordan. So that is really a nice seed. That's really easy. And honestly, you could easily get closer here on the Cambodia and end up with a stonking score there. So that's a pretty interesting game there. I didn't know that existed. I have zero recollection of playing this one, to be honest. Okay, and then at the time, I had a 22,605 seconds per round. That's actually pretty good. That's actually pretty good, I will say that. Here's, I guess, the hilarious one. My top country streak on no moving, panning, or zooming was 11. This is actually low-key kind of interesting. My top Australia streak at the time was 22, so not that far off my top country streak up here. However, these days I can get a much better streak on Australia than I can at the world. Okay guys, we'll finish off the video here inside my GeoGuessr tips Google Doc that I ran before I started the channel. This one's separated into continents, so I'll just quickly skim it, see if there's anything really interesting in here. And I'll also leave the link in case you guys want to check it out too. Bear in mind that I actually kind of came up with a lot of these myself. I actually kind of think just from skimming the signage section that a lot of this is pretty much correct, so I'm happy with myself in that respect. There are some like funny little ones here. Well, I spelled Cyrillic horribly wrong. And then also yellow area signs here. That one is just for all of Yugoslavia. So Serbia and Montenegro and Croatia also using them, not only Slovenia. So I think it's more that this is a little bit incomplete than that it's wrong at all. Oh, this is kind of funny. Tiny font on speed signs. That's just the Spanish font, I'm pretty sure. So I'd somehow worked out the Spanish font, but only for Andorra. That's so random. Interesting here, possibility for no blue strip on the plate. Croatia, Greece, North Macedonia, they're really good answers, but then Norway's kind of interesting. I mean, Norway you sometimes see no blue strip, but definitely not one of the countries I'd associate with not seeing it often, so that's kind of interesting. Yeah, I mean, it is kind of interesting having a text-based GeoGuessr doc, because ultimately GeoGuessr is a very visual game, of course, so some of these descriptions of the poles definitely don't quite do it for me these days. For example, calling like Belgian poles the same shape as Stobie poles, I'm not really sure if that one checks out, but at the same time I can see why I said it. Oh my gosh, I was trying to describe bollards, I forgot about this. Yeah, okay, let's pick one at random here. Short, white, grey tip, Spain. Yeah, that's like the Aragon bollard, interesting. Oh, stubby, white, green tip, black number, Spain. Yo, that's so weird. Because that bollard is specific to this province here. Which one is that one called again? Oh yeah, to Extremadura. Yeah, that one's specific to Extremadura. So I don't know how that really came about, but yeah, that's like a specific province bollard. So very interesting that I was coming up with that. Very interesting indeed. Okay, now we're onto some good stuff here. Meta. Gen 2 Uncommon, Netherlands. Now that's an interesting take. I don't think that's true. Blue Tinge, Portugal and UK. I think that's talking about the Generation 4 car, but that's literally every country in Europe, so that one's kind of funny looking back on. Okay, landscape and architecture. I spied here, similar look to South America, brackets, Colombia, Albania. Okay, I mean, I kind of see it, but that's really quite funny. Deep ditches on the roadside, Romania. Interesting. I don't know, some of these are pretty suspect metas, even by zi8gzag standards. Okay, this is quite simply the most random meta I've ever seen. Sarajevo hosted the Olympic Games in 1984, so you can see arenas in Croatia. Okay, buddy. That's, yeah. Great meta, great meta. I mean, yeah, guys, there's a whole lot here. I would definitely recommend going and checking it out. As I said, I'll leave that linked in the description. But yeah, guys, that's kind of been a little bit of an explore into how I was playing GeoGuessr in 2020. I'm sure there's still more I could dig up or react to some of my old videos once again. That could definitely be fun. But guys, I'm gonna say thank you very much for watching the video all the way to the end. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in a video very soon. Till next time, and goodbye.